Hello and welcome to this Week 3 Bulldog Football Preview. I'm Rob Bentley, the voice of the Bulldogs, alongside Sandy Golston as we get set for Saturday night. Football Alumni Night as Ferris State hosts Saginaw Valley State. Sandy, the Bulldogs, number 2 in the country, 2-0, coming off a big win over Ashland this past Saturday night.
Yeah, how impressive have the Bulldogs been during weeks 1 and 2 of this season against two teams that traditionally have played us tough, two teams that we expect are going to end up by the end of the 2021 campaign having good seasons. Bulldogs have been very impressive in weeks 1 and 2, setting the stage for a return home. The alumni, football alumni in particular, they're going to be excited to return home for this, and the alumni in general are going to be excited to be back here on campus. It's just going to be great. The next 2 weeks really are going to be great weekends for alumni, but in particular coming up this weekend for football alumni.
The football alumni will be honored during Saturday night's contest. And speaking of Saginaw Valley State, a former Bulldog on the opposite side, and Ryan Brady, the head coach for Saginaw Valley, his second season on the field. He's got some other familiar names on that Saginaw Valley State staff as well.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of familiarity, but I think this is not the first time we're going to say that this season, and it won't be the last time we'll say that this season about going against a former Tony Anise disciple, a former member of this Bulldog football program. So we're looking forward to it. Saginaw Valley traditionally has been a very good rivalry for the Bulldogs, a very nearby rival. We've had some great games against the Cardinals over the years, and we know Coach Brady's going to have his team ready to play coming in here at 1-1 on the season. They still have pretty good expectations, pretty high expectations, so they would love to get a win against the Bulldogs. And at Ferris, of course, in front of the football alumni, they don't want to let that happen.
This will be the 46th consecutive time in which Ferris State and Saginaw Valley State have met each other when there's been games, of course, on the field, and obviously a long-standing rival here in the GLIAC.
Yeah, it has been an outstanding rival in the GLIAC, and you mentioned the consecutive streak in terms of number of games that we've played them, and so there's definitely that familiarity there between the two programs. It's really just a couple hours trip away from each other, and so there's definitely going to be a lot of familiarity. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our alumni and fans from both schools really recognize this as being one of the marquee games of the season.
Ferris State offense right now, number 2 in the country in terms of total offense. The Bulldogs have put up some points here each of the first 2 weeks, but the defense has certainly played well. Held Ashland to 3 points for nearly 3/4 on Saturday night.
Yeah, very impressive performance by the defense. We saw them in the season opener against Findlay, and they were very impressive even in that game as well. Had a couple of breakdowns that led to some scores, but they seem to have tightened some things up coming from week 1 to week 2. We talk about the biggest improvement that you're going to make being between week 1 and week 2, but if you're a team, if you're a coach, if you're players, you want to continue to improve throughout the season. So hopefully that'll be the case for the Bulldogs. And then looking at their performance against Ashland down on the road, our first road game of the season, our first road game since 2019, Bulldogs really came in and set the tone defensively, and that really complemented the dominating performance that we also saw on the offensive side of the ball.
The Bulldogs, of course, coming into this game looking to go 3-0. Sandy, some keys here on Saturday night for Ferris State to get the win over Saginaw Valley.
Well, I think big key is going to be able to feed off the energy, and I think you want to see a balanced attack. And I think as the season goes on, we want to really work on balancing our attack offensively. So I think the run game, I think, is going to be even more important, and we'll pick our spots, I think, to stretch down the field to see if we can get our wideouts involved a little bit more as well. But I look for some big games from our runners, our running game behind that big offensive line, both of our big offensive lines. We really can roll 2 offensive lines and feel very confident with either offensive line. So I think getting a dominating running performance going on Saturday is going to be a huge key to not only controlling the clock, which they did at times against Ashland, but also really setting the tone, keeping that opposing defense on the field, and then opening it up for a passing game that can go deep down the field.
Of course, football alumni night on Saturday night as a lot of alums, former players come back here to the Ferris State campus, really starting an extended homecoming week, one of the unique years in which Ferris State's back-to-back here heading into homecoming.
Yeah, it's going to be great, I think, for a lot of our alumni. We're probably going to see a lot of those alumni 2 weeks in a row because we have homecoming the week after that. So that's going to be a big one as well. So a great couple of weekends coming up. As you mentioned, kind of an extended homecoming, if you will, for now the Bulldog football program and for the campus in general. So it's going to be a lot of festivities. We're hoping to rock the top this weekend and the next weekend after that with homecoming overall for the university. So looking forward to some great fan support this coming weekend and the weekend after that.
You can get your tickets online, ferrisstatebulldogs.com/tickets. We'll have all the action for you on Saturday night. Pre-game coverage starting at 6:30 on Sunny 97.3, the Bulldogs Sports Network, and online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Check out ferrisstatebulldogs.com for all the latest in Ferris State football. This has been the Week 3 preview.